All right. Let me get my music going here. We will start actually laying down in this class. So find yourself all extended out on your mat. Close your eyes. Begin to allow that external world around you to melt away. And feel all the points of your body touching the mat and ground. Let's place our hands on top of our belly and begin to feel that gentle rise and fall of the inhale and the exhale. When you feel the inhale rising in your belly, imagine you're blowing up a balloon. So you want to blow it up to its full capacity on your inhale, allowing full belly to just get really deep and full and open. You can feel your ribs expand, your chest lifting. And then on the exhale, slowly allow that balloon to deflate. And work through the inhales in that way. And the exhales really slow. Our class today is going to be involving a lot of twists and movements that's going to really open up all of those organs, those internal organs that hold on stress without us knowing it. They actually, the fascia around them hold stress in all around the organs. And so when we twist, it's almost like wringing out a sponge. We allow the organs to just wring out and detox, which will build our immune system, help us feel stronger and better in our body. So we'll begin by inhaling our arms up overhead, taking that full body stretch as if you're waking up for the first time today. And then exhale, draw the right knee in towards your chest. And make your left leg active by flexing out of that left foot, the toes up to the ceiling. So you kind of feel a little internal rotation of that left thigh. And then the right knee draws into your chest. And begin by rolling your ankle one way and the other. And then take some big hip circles with that knee, opening up the hip socket. So you can take the circles in a clockwise position, really big circles, awakening that hip socket, and then you can do a counterclockwise. And then extend your right leg up towards the sky, flexing out of that right foot. You're still flexing as well out of the left foot. Interlace your hands behind your thigh. You can keep a gentle bend in the knee since this is the first few stretches of the day. And then point and flex that right foot up to the sky and back. You're pointing the toes up to the sky, and then when you flex that foot, drawing those toes in towards you. And then lift the chest up, bringing your nose up towards that right thigh. Just hold it here for a moment. Again, still staying active in that left leg. And then release your chest back down. And then keeping your hands maybe interlaced behind your thigh, or you can move your hands up to your calf if that's available. We're going to open up our hips. So open up that right leg out to the right. Find that spot where your left hip actually starts to lift up off of the ground and then stay there. And take your left hand and gently press the left hip down. For me, I need to bend my right knee because my hamstrings are so tight. So if you need to do that as well, to keep your hips equal to still grounded, you may do so. Just kind of holding your right leg with that right hand. And then bring it back up to center. And then we're going to rotate it over to the left. So twisting over to the left with our right leg extended. Allow it to completely come onto the ground and open up that right arm out to a T, and the gaze goes over the right. Again, that left leg is extended long. And then unwind the twist. Bring that right leg back up towards the sky. Bend the right knee in towards your chest. And then extend it long. And doing that all with the left leg. Draw that left knee into your chest. Flexing out of that right extended leg so that you're activating in the thigh. Drawing that left knee in closely to your chest. Roll out your ankle. And then do some big knee circles, opening up that hip socket on the left. So maybe counterclockwise to begin. And then change, reverse the circle. And then bring your knee back into center and extend that leg long up towards the sky, interlacing your hands behind the thigh. Again, staying active in that right leg. And then we're going to point and flex that left foot. And then keeping your foot flat, your left foot flexed, your right foot flexed as well. Inhale, lift the chest up to that extended leg. And then come back down. Extend the left leg out to the left. Finding that edge where your right hip maybe starts to come off of the mat, and hold it there. And taking your right hand, just gently pressing on the right hip to help you stay grounded. Then inhale, lift the leg all the way back up. And exhale, rotate it over to the right. Slowly allowing it to melt over to the right in that twist. Extending both legs long. So they're kind of creating like a little V with your legs. Extend the left arm long beside of you and take the gaze over your left shoulder. And then lift the left leg back up. Draw the knee into your chest and extend it long. Inhaling your arms back overhead, coming out of, bringing the energy out of the fingertips, out of the toes. And then exhale, draw the knees, both knees into chest this time, and massage out that lower back. And then we will take our 3 spinal rocks up to seated. So 1, 2, 3, and find your way into a wide-legged seated position. So your legs are extended out long in that wide V. Maybe even take the flesh away from your sits bones so that you can stay grounded a little bit more. Lifting up out of the rib cage, flexing at both feet. And we're going to rotate our hip over to the right and fold forward over that right leg. Again, staying flexed in both feet. Your chest is then, so you're doing a little bit of a twist here over that right leg. And then coming back up to center, rotate over your torso over to the left, leading with the chest. Gently come over that left extended leg. Drawing the rib cage, the left rib cage back and the right rib cage forward. Allowing yourself to twist just a little bit more. And then come back to center. Inhale your arms up overhead and exhale, bring that right arm down. This time we're going to stay open with our chest, lifted with our chest, and our gaze is forward or up towards the sky. Your left arm can be up towards the sky, or it can be reaching towards those right toes. And then inhale back to center and exhale over to the left. Again, the right arm can be extended up long or reaching over towards those toes. You're opening up your chest. Your rib cages on that right side is twisting just a little bit, opening up towards the sky. Then inhale back to center, and let's draw our knees in, bringing the soles of our feet together closely to our hips. Holding here for just a moment, and then slowly leading with the chest, folding forward. And then rise back up, and we're going to take our feet now much wider away from our hips. So we have a much wider diamond shape here. Sit up tall, and then this time you can round your spine, allowing yourself to completely release. Your head completely releases. Your arms maybe even come on the outside of your legs. And you let go here. And then rise back up, bring your knees together, and we will come onto our knees with our feet flexed, and then sitting back onto our heels. Lifting our chest, lifting up out of our rib cage. Inhale your arms up overhead, interlace your fingers, and lift them up towards the sky. Try to avoid straining in your trapezius muscles. You want to draw those shoulders down away from your ears. And then just draw those, keeping your hands interlaced, draw those hands down in front of you. Again, keeping your shoulders away from your ears, pressing out of the palms of your hands. And release those arms down. This time we're going to inhale our arms up overhead, and we're going to take the interlaced fingers, but we're going to do it the opposite way than we just did. So it's going to feel a little funky because it's not the way you normally interlace your fingers. So whichever way you did it normally, like maybe your right thumb was in front of the left, this time take the left thumb in front of the right. And then press up towards the sky. Drawing your rib cages in. You might notice that you're wanting to kind of create a C shape with your pelvis. Make sure your pelvis is slightly tucked. And then bring your arms slowly in front of you. Again, shoulders away from those ears. And release your hands. And just come onto all fours and just pat the tops of your feet, because that was a big stretch on the balls of your feet and your toes. And then we'll find our tabletop position with our hands directly underneath our shoulders, knees directly underneath hips. Let's inhale, lift, and extend that left leg behind us and the right arm in front. Holding here. Make sure you're finding your breath. You're not holding onto your breath, but you're creating those deep inhales and exhales. And then release that down. Then inhale, extend the left arm long and that right leg back. Flexing out of the right foot. Gaze is down. Core is slightly engaged here. And then release that down. Keeping your knees together, let's press back into our child's pose position, extending our arms long and pressing into the floor. So you're going to notice an engagement on your shoulder blades. And then release your head down to the ground. And then keeping your left arm extended, we're going to inhale, lift that right arm up towards the sky. And we're going to thread the needle. So we're staying with our hips back in our child's pose position. But we're threading the needle, our right arm under that left arm. Allowing ourselves to twist over to the left, pressing into that left palm, and that right arm is extended long underneath. For this, your head might not completely reach the ground. That's okay, or you can rest on the top of your head. And then come back to center, extend that right leg long. Again, we're staying with our hips back in our child's pose. Inhale, lift the left arm up overhead, twisting over to the left slightly. And exhale, thread that left arm underneath the right. Allowing yourself to twist over to the right. You're still pressing into the palm of the right hand. And close your eyes. Make sure you can breathe in this. If you feel that you can't fully take an inhale and exhale, maybe back out of it just a little bit. And then release that twist, extending that left arm long. Let's inhale, rise up to our tabletop position. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Find your downward facing dog. And bend one knee, cycling out, bending the other. Make it a playful dog. Pressing firmly into the palms of those hands, allowing your chest to float closer towards your thighs. And inhale, rise up on your toes, bend deeply in the knees, and walk towards your front of the mat, finding your forward fold. Now in this forward fold, we're going to bend deeply in our knees, and we're going to come onto the backs of our hands. So our hands are landing onto the mat, and the fingers are pointed towards our feet. So you might need to really take a big bend in your knees for this, and then allow your head and your neck to release. Shake your head yes. Shake it no. See if you can extend your legs just slightly, keeping your hands the way they are on the mat. And then release the hands and come down onto the palms this time. So your fingers are spread wide, you're on the palms. Again, your knees are bent a lot in this. And then release the head and the neck. Then inhale, halfway lift, flat back, shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pressing into those feet. Slowly rise up. Arms come out the side of you and up towards the sky. Gaze follows. Palms press. Exhale, hands down to heart center. We'll move through a little sun salutation here. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, leading with your chest. Swan dive. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, and let's step back with the right leg, coming into a low runner's lunge. Drop that back right knee, and inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take an inhale here. Notice that your hips are equal together and your chest is lifted. And on the exhale, you're going to twist over to the left. Gaze goes with it. Inhale back to center. And exhale, hands come down on both sides of that left foot. Tuck the back right toes. Coming back into your low runner's lunge. Left foot comes back to meet the right. Downward facing dog. Let's flow through our vinyasa. Inhale forward for plank or modify if you want to bring your knees down. Exhale, chaturanga all the way down. Inhale, lift your chest for cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Let's take a couple inhales here and deep exhales. Then inhale, rise up on your toes, bend deeply your knees, and walk towards the front of the mat, finding your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, release it all down, forward fold. Pressing firmly into your feet, slowly rise up, arms up overhead, gaze follows. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, engage your core, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands and step back with your left leg coming into that low runner's lunge. Drop that back knee. Inhale, arms up overhead, lift up. Lift your chest, lift your gaze. Palms press. Exhale down. Take an inhale, making sure that your hips are equal with one another. Your chest is lifted. On the exhale, twist over to the right, pressing into the palms of your hands. Inhale here. Exhale, release both hands down on opposite sides of that foot. Lift up into that low lunge. Right foot comes back to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Let's inhale forward for plank or modified plank. Exhale, chaturanga all the way down. Inhale, chest lifts, gaze forward, cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg lifts for 3-leg dog splits. Bend the right knee, draw in between your hands, finding your low lunge again. Drop that back knee. Inhale, your arms up overhead. Gaze follows. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale here, and exhale, twist over to the right once more. Pressing into the palms of your hands. Inhale here. Exhale, hands come down on opposite sides of that right foot. Lift that left leg back. Draw the right foot back to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg up for 3-leg dog splits. Bend the left knee. Draw in between the hands. Plant it down. Finding your low lunge. Drop that back leg. Inhale, rise up. Arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale here, checking in with your alignment. Exhale, rotate over to the left. Pressing into your palms. Gaze is forward. Inhale here. Exhale, drop both hands back down on opposite sides of that left foot. Tuck the right toes. Lift up for runner's lunge. Left foot comes back to meet the right. Downward facing dog. We'll flow through another vinyasa. Inhale, forward for plank or modified. Exhale, chaturanga down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Inhale, rise up on your toes. Bend deeply in your knees and walk towards the front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, let's sit back into our chair. Arms up overhead, chest lifts. Let's hold here, hands come down to heart center. If you want to heel toe your feet together, we can keep them hips distance apart. Yogi's preference. If you have your feet together, imagine you're drawing your thighs together, pressing firmly in the thighs. Sit back just a little bit more into your chair. Lift your chest. Inhale here, exhale. Rotate over to the right. Twisting over to the right. Engage your core. Lifting out of your chest. Inhale back to center. Then exhale over to the left. Again, slightly engaging your core. Twisting a little bit more. Inhale back to center. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands and either step or jump back to plank. And let's hold our plank here just for a moment. Then drop that left leg down. So your left knee is coming down. Slightly bring that left hand directly below your face. And open up, twisting slightly over to the right, lifting your arms up, your right arm up towards the sky. Finding your breath. Gaze can be forward or up towards the sky. And then release that right hand down. Extend that right leg long and draw the left leg back, finding your plank. And then drop the right knee down. The right hand comes directly underneath your face. And inhale, rotate over to the left. Left arm goes up towards the sky. That left leg is extended long. Gaze is forward or up towards the sky. Make sure you're breathing here. And then release that left arm down. Extend the left leg and then the right, finding your plank one more time. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. All the way down. Inhale, lifting up for cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Let's walk our feet wide on the outer edges of your mat, drawing your heels closely down to the earth. And then slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. You're in a wide leg forward fold here. Take that left arm planted on top of the right shin. Inhale, twist over to the right. Your right arm goes up towards the sky. You're lifting up out of your chest. Make sure you're breathing. If you want to try to take that right arm and wrap it around to meet the left hip, you may do so. Just make sure you're not rounding out of your spine, but you're keeping a long, straight spine. And then release those hands back down. Take the right hand now, plant it on top of that left shin, and inhale, rotate over to the left. The left arm goes up overhead. Again, if you want to wrap that left arm around and have it land on the top of your right hip, twisting just a little bit deeper, you may do so. Make sure you find your breath. And then release all of that back down. And walk your hands back towards the front of the mat. And bring the feet back directly underneath your hips. Find your downward facing dog once more. We're going to flow through one more vinyasa here. So inhale, forward for plank. Exhale, elbows hug in, chaturanga all the way down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Rise up on your toes, bend deeply in your knees, and walk towards the front of the mat. This time we're coming into a wide leg forward fold at the front of the mat. And then we're gonna sit down into our yogi squat. Our hips come down to the ground. Palms come press. So your elbows press slightly, even more into those knees, allowing your hips to open. And we're gonna drop that left arm down and open up, twisting over to the right. So our right arm is coming up towards the sky. We're pressing into the left palm on the ground. And then inhale back to center and plant that right hand down. Exhale, twist over to the left. Inhale back to center. And then we're going to come onto our bottoms with our legs still bent in that wide leg. So our knees are bent, our feet are flat on the ground in that kind of wide leg stance. Kind of heel toe your feet slightly out in front of you. And we're going to bring our arms underneath both of our legs here. Wrapping your hands around, finding the tops of your feet or your ankles or even your shins. And then you're going to kind of just allow your spine to round in this. Your chin is going to tuck. Allow your knees to open and melt down. And then slowly come back out of that. Draw your knees back to one another. And we're going to just cross at our ankles, come forward with our hands, and find our way in our forward fold once more. Let's inhale, halfway lift, flat back, gaze is down. Exhale, fold, let it go. Inhale, pressing into the feet. Slowly rise up, arms come out and up towards the sky, and palms press. And we're going to take a wide step back with that right leg and plant the right foot down at our 45-degree angle. Hands can come down onto the hips, bend into that left knee, then we're going to windmill our arms up out into a T, finding our warrior two. Gaze is strong over the fingertips of that left hand. Take note that you're putting the weight on the outer edge of that right foot, your equal weight into the left foot. You're bending deeply so the knee is directly above the ankle. If you need to maybe take a little bit less of a stance to do that, you may. And then we're going to reverse the warrior, bringing that left arm up towards the sky. The right arm falls gently onto that right leg. Make sure you're breathing. Extend the left leg long. Inhale, come back with our arms to a T. Slightly come forward with the left arm and fold over, finding your triangle. Your chest is lifted, your right arm is up towards the sky, gaze is forward or up towards the sky. And then we're gonna bring that left arm, come down onto the ground. So you might need to slightly bend the left leg, maybe even bring it in slightly a little bit. So come onto the fingertips of that left hand. It's gonna come out slightly behind that left foot. You're gonna press into the right foot and press firmly into the left, lifting off, I need to scoot back, sorry, finding your half moon. So your right leg lifts, your right foot is flexed. Your right arm is up towards the sky, gaze is forward or up towards the fingertips. Find your focal point. Make sure you have your breath. See if you can hold it just a few more seconds. And then release that right leg, right arm, finding forward fold. Shake out your head, yes and no. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, it all out, forward fold. Inhale, rising up, strong mountain, arms up overhead, palms press. Exhale, hands down to heart center. And then taking a big step with that left leg, finding that high lunge, rotating slightly that left foot, planting it down, bending deeply into that right knee. Windmill your arms up, open to a T, finding warrior two on the right. Checking in, noticing that your shoulders are drawn away from the ears. Your gaze is forward over the fingertips of that right hand. The weight in that left leg, extended left leg, is on the outer edge of the left foot. You're bending deeply in that right knee. And then inhale, reverse the warrior, gently placing the left arm on that left leg. Gaze is up towards the sky, right arm is up towards the sky. And then extend that right leg long. Inhale back to the T with your arms. Slightly shift forward with the right. And then fold over, finding your triangle. Your right hand comes down onto the shin or maybe even touches the ground. The left arm is up towards the sky, gaze is forward or up towards the sky. Find your breath. And then if you need to slightly bend that right knee to bring the right fingertips down onto the ground, you may do so. Bring them kind of close to the outer edge of the mat. And then pressing into the left foot and the right firmly, lift off with that left foot. Extending the left foot behind you, flexing out of that left foot. Gaze can be down, forward, or even up towards the sky. Your left arm is still lifted. Finding your half moon balance on this other side. Find your focus. Make sure you're breathing. Hold just a little bit more, just a little bit longer. You got this. And then release that left arm and the left foot down, finding your forward fold. And shake it out with your head and your neck. And then bend deeply in your knees and come down onto your seat, extending your legs long out in front of you. Bend that right knee into your chest and cross it over that extended left leg, flexing out of that left foot. Sitting up nice and tall, you can keep your hands on your knee. Actually, we're gonna bring that right hand behind us, creating that kickstand. Grab a hold and wrap around that right knee, twist over to the right. Gaze is over the right shoulders. You're still active in that left extended leg, so those toes are flexed. You're lifting out of the rib cage. Maybe take a twist just a little bit more, imagining those right ribs falling back, twisting just a little bit more. Make sure you're breathing. And then unwind the twist, extend that right leg long, and draw the left knee into your chest. Flex out of that right foot. You're activating that right leg. And then take the left foot, cross it over that extended leg, sitting up tall. Draw that left hand behind you, creating the kickstand, and grab a hold of that left knee. Twist over to the left. Gaze is over that left shoulder. Make sure you have your breath. And then unwind the twist. Extend both legs long, sitting up tall. Inhale, arms up overhead, hinging at the hips. Allow yourself to fold forward. Hands can be at the shins, ankles, or the toes. Shin is slightly tucked. If you need to slightly put a bend in your knees, you may do so. And then come back up, drawing your knees into your chest, giving yourself a big squeeze, walking your heels closely towards your glutes, and drop your chin to your chest, allowing the back of that neck to just stretch out. And then keeping your knees bent, take your fingertips behind you so they're pointed in towards your glutes. Lift your chest. You might stay here, or if you want the deeper stretch in the front of your shoulders, let's inhale and lift those hips up towards the sky. Gaze is forward, up towards the sky, or you can completely release your neck. If it's not painful, completely release your neck behind you. Your glutes are engaged here. You're pressing firmly into the soles of your feet and into the palms of your hands. And then release down. Coming back, lifting up out of your chest. We're going to go into our boat pose. So come onto your toes, coming onto the backs of your sits bones. Inhale, lift your feet. Your thighs are drawing in, your knees are touched, and then release your hands in front of you. And then we're going to keep ourselves engaged and lifted in this boat pose, but we're going to slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. So slightly tucking your chin, tucking your stomach in, you're engaged out, extend your legs out, keeping your arms out. Then allow yourself back down onto your mat. Let's draw those knees, bending the knees again once more, planting the soles of your feet down onto the ground. Let's lift that right leg, cross it over so the ankle is crossed over that left knee, and lift that left foot up off of the ground, interlacing your hands behind your thigh, and extend the left leg up towards the sky, flexing out of that left foot. Make sure you're breathing. And then keeping that position, we're going to slowly allow our our right foot to twist over to the left. So we're going to twist over to the left. Everything is the way it is. Allowing the left leg to come down, and then you're coming onto the sole of that right foot. Extend the arms into a T and take your gaze over the right shoulder. Maybe even close your eyes here. And then to come out of it, we're going to bend that left knee and just bring the right foot down. So we're planting our feet back down onto the ground. Our knees are bent. And let's cross that left ankle to meet the right knee. Inhale, lift that right leg, extend it long up towards the sky, flexing out of that right foot, interlacing your hands behind your thigh. Hold here. And then release your hands out into a T and slowly allow yourself to twist over to the right. Keeping that right leg extended, the left knee is bent. And then lastly, planting all of it down so that left foot is planted onto the ground, the right knee is still extended, and your gaze goes over the left shoulders. And then to come out of it, we're going to bend that right leg and bring the left leg back down, finding our knees bent once more and the soles of our feet planted down. We're going to do a bridge flow here. So bring your arms back down beside of you and inhale, lift your hips up, pressing into the soles of your feet, and lift your arms up overhead. And then exhale, slowly come down with your arms back down beside of you. Inhale, lift your hips, lift your arms up overhead, keeping your chin slightly tucked, your gaze is to the sky. Exhale, come back down, arms down beside of you. Inhale, lift your hips. Lift your arms, pressing firmly into the soles of your feet. Exhale, arms back down. One more time, inhale, lift your arms, lift your hips. And then we're gonna just stay here with our hips lifted, our arms up overhead. Engaging our glutes, pressing into the soles of our feet. Maybe try to lift up just a little bit more with your hips. And then exhale, release one vertebrae at a time. Your arms come back down beside of you. Lift your knees up and draw them into your chest and give yourself a big hug, massaging out your lower back. And then extend both legs long up towards the sky, flexing out of your feet. And we're going to lift up our hips, bringing our hands coming onto our onto the palms of our hands with our hips. So we're slightly lifted. You can stay here, or if you want to do the full version where you lift your hips all the way up to the sky. If you do that, you're coming onto your biceps. Your elbows are bent and they're slightly tucked in. So draw them in towards one another. Your feet are up towards the sky, hips lifted. Keep your gaze up forward to the sky. And maybe even take one leg, maybe even take the right leg down and see if you can touch it down onto the ground. And then back up again. And then the left leg, see if you can touch it back behind your head. And back up. And just do that a couple times, like scissoring your feet, scissoring your legs. And then when you're ready to come out of it, bend your knees into your chest and slowly roll one vertebrae at a time. All the way out. Then extend your legs long. We're going to lift our chest. We're going to come up onto our forearms. So our elbows are bent. Our chest is lifted. Our legs are extended long. point your feet. So you're engaging your legs just a little bit. Your feet are pointed. Lift your chest and allow your head to release back behind you. Your palms can be down onto the ground to allow yourself to lift a little bit more. Maybe close your eyes. Make sure you're breathing. If you're having a hard time breathing, slightly come out of this pose. It's a deep stretch in the front of your shoulders, deep stretch in the front of your neck. Releases lots of stress and tension. Detoxes that upper body. And then when you're ready, slowly bring your head back up, tucking your chin, and come back onto your back, extending your arms out long, closing your eyes, and finding your Shavasana. Allowing your jaw, allowing your jaw to release. Allowing your body to really integrate all those poses that you just did. Believe it or not, Shavasana is actually one of the most important parts of the entire practice, where we allow ourselves to rest, allow our body to fully let go. Soften your eyelids back, your eyes back into the back of your eyelids. Soften that third eye. Maybe even open your mouth just a little bit, releasing that jaw completely. And then slowly invite movement back into your body, wiggling your toes and your fingers. Maybe rolling out your ankles, rolling out your wrists. Inhale your arms up long overhead for that full body stretch. Exhale, draw both knees into chest. And slowly roll over to your right side, just pausing here, keeping your eyes closed. And pressing into that left hand, slowly sit up. Find your comfortable seated position with your eyes still closed, allowing your final moments of keeping that external world around you just closed off for just a few more seconds here. Bring your palms to heart center and slightly tuck your chin. Take a moment thanking yourself for showing up today, thanking your body to be able to move. I thank you for showing up today and doing this class with me. I'm humbled and grateful. I wish you joy, peace, and love as you go throughout your day. Namaste.
Thank you.